I would go through it all over again. I would go through your struggles. Is so broken, but it's so precious. It's so small and seemingly insignificant to the world.
And they're a lot of trouble.
And they
just like we are.
Yes, exactly. What the heck? We don't do anything together anymore.
I would do it 100 times.
Exactly. And almost like I need to prove to you, oh, I'm amazing. You didn't make a bad investment. Oh, I'll tell you, God, how you can use me. Yeah. That's trusting God.
So too late, I'm already offended.
Yeah. Every single one of those lovely little kids is so worth it. I get it. Look at, they're so pure and lovely. And yes, I know that one's smacking that one. And it's like, and they do naughty things, but it's like, they're worth it.
But it's like listening to you and just like processing. That was a new thought to me when we started this video. But it's like we were always worth the trouble. It's like, but whose perspective are you looking from? Like from my perspective, I'll never be good enough. But from his perspective, you were good enough the day I found you.
You know, it's,
I don't know, there's something that's going to be,
you know, I mean,
that's going to be spinning in me for a while.
It's almost like your children, and after you have, you know, adult children, and you see the struggles they go through and the things they do, and you go, huh, if I could do it again, would I not have them? It's like, of course I would have you. I would go through it all over again. I would go through your struggles. I would go through whatever it is you, and so that's the only way I can do it from a human perspective of like, you know, I am certainly not God, but you know, for that loving relationship where it's like, oh, yes, tantrums or your frustration or your whatever you've chosen as, you know, an adult, it's like, yeah, you were worth it. You're so worth it. And
You're
it's like,
saying that to you?
I'm saying that about my kids.
Oh,
and it's
to
like,
your kids.
Thinking that about my children. It's like, so I'm thinking where you have something that is so broken, but it's so precious. It's so small and seemingly insignificant to the world. You know, like, I mean, a baby, come on, that's pretty insignificant. And yet you still want to take care of it and nurture it and make it grow and give it all the good things it needs.
And they're a lot of trouble,
and they
just like we are.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, I mean, I think my son said something about, they're a horrible investment. Yes, they are. They take everything. They take all the money. They take all the food. They take all your time. They take, you know, it's like, I mean, like Mark and I, you get married, it's like, woo, I love you. And it's like, it's all about you and me. And then it's like, but I still want to have babies with you, you know, and you do. And then it's like, what the heck? We don't do anything together anymore. And it's like, you know, I think of those years where it's like, it's so much more fun to go read the children's stories than deal with my husband, you know, because they're so, they forget that they just didn't like you 5 minutes ago. They still love you. It's like this unconditional, crazy love. And so, I mean, that's a whole sad thing where it's like, you know, anybody who can make it through having young children and still get your marriage through that, because it's like you have forgotten each other for a while, you know, unless you make that really concerted effort, like we are going to make sure it's still about you and me. And then these kids are a great, you know.
You know, it's almost like, so you were just saying like your kid, was it your son said that we're a horrible investment?
Yeah, it's like, what kind of investment is that?
And again, because we take this and whatever, and like you did this whole thing, and it's like, that's exactly where you started. Like when this 2 months ago, then it's just like realizing I was a horrible investment.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't be, you know what,
all
if I ever
take and I poop and I
exactly. And it's like, if I ever give you advice like where to put your money, run the other way. And so it's sort of like, God, I am not the investment that, you know, and you know, and it's like
God's the mom. God is you in this picture going, I would do it 100 times.
Exactly. And you know, when I remember when I was first a Christian, I remember saying to God, it's like, oh my gosh, I can spin plates and I can do this and you can use me in my creativity and you can do me, and all these ego things about how good I am. And almost like I need to prove to you, oh, I'm amazing. You didn't make a bad investment, you know? And it's like, and who I am now and where he uses me as opposed to where I was in my, I swear, it was very egocentric because it's like, oh, I'll tell you, God, how you can use me. Yeah, that's trusting God.
So going back to the old ladies and the
lovely old
Sherpa
ladies.
pillow or whatever it's called.
The Zafu.
The Zafu. So somewhere between there and sometime after, like, I'm assuming like Jesus was in the picture, like with them, like, right?
Yes.
I mean, you said it was very liberal,
I suppose
whatever it is, but I mean, but from there, was there like a progression to where, like, was it like, I feel like it wasn't personal. I mean, I wasn't there, so I'm just telling you this is what I got. So it felt like to me, like that wasn't like personally up, but it was like, you just want him to get out of here. Like, you get out of here.
Oh, you mean look when I saw the light?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe in you.
But then you started believing in him. But like, at some point, did it become more personal, or was it like that when it got personal?
Well, that's when it got personal, kind of like, oh my gosh, I feel like something's changing. And what's changing? And I don't know what to do with this. And I don't have...
You actually didn't want it to change.
I didn't want it, and I didn't have a handbook. And I didn't... And it was just like... It was kind of like, who am I going to talk to? I can't tell my husband. It was kind of like, I have to keep the secret. I got a Virgin Mary stuck in the underwear drawer. What am I going to do? You know, I mean, who do I call? I'm hanging out with these Lutherans, and it's like, I don't, not that there's anything wrong with Lutherans. But
I was raised Lutheran. My previous church was Lutheran.
Okay. And,
so I mean, late. I'm already offended.
Yeah. Sorry, we're done now. And so, it was kind of like I didn't know what to do, so I had gone back to the Catholic Church, and I couldn't believe the grace of like the people I was running into. I wasn't getting all the answers I needed, but I remember, let's say you know, they always go, when you get to the pearly gates, and they ask, you know, it's like, you know, why are you here? Or what did you do? And it's like, it has nothing to do with what I did. It doesn't even, you know, and so often it doesn't even have to do with, I made the decision. I came to Christ. I did this. And it's like, no, this person did this for me. So it's like, when I was like, oh my God, if I'm ever asked, like, why should I even let you in? Well, it's not because I did Bible study. It's not because I was with the little kids. It's like, because Jesus said I could come, and Jesus did it all for me. And nothing.
That's crazy.
And it's like, and that's where that independent, prideful person has to be squashed so often. I don't mean squashed as in like obliterate Danette, but it's like continually coming back to, I did nothing for this. You know, it's sort of like how you put on, I'll remember things from my kids' childhood, and Mark's always like, you have your rose-colored glasses on. It wasn't that nice. Don't you remember? You were nuts, Danette. And it's like, not that Jesus has on rose-colored glasses, but it's like, oh man, if I could see you how he sees you, or sees any, you know, where it's like, where it's like, yes, you're so worth it. You know, or could I put those glasses on for that person who annoys the crud out of me, but he's still made in God's image? And you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't see that person that way. Oh, you know, it's that, take that log out of your eye. Yeah. You know, I think everybody's story is so amazing. And it's like, you know, and even before I was a Christian, I remember, okay, there was this show, it was called Biography on Arts and Entertainment TV, A&E. And, you know, it's like, I think their tagline was, everybody's got a story, you know, and it's like, and I've always enjoyed people. I love people. I love to hear like, how did you get here? What's the, you know, everybody's got an amazing story. Even if it's the most boring story, it's something. Hearing others tell their stories, or hearing their story and going, I too felt that way, or I felt broken, or I was in pain. One thing I'm noticing
is like, so I've heard like, you're the third story like this I've heard in the last few weeks. And this one was on purpose. The other two were kind of accidental. But there's seems like there's a moment in everybody's story that doesn't make any sense. Like, in the one that I picked out on yours is like, you were going to spend time with the Buddhists, and like, what Buddhists? What are you talking about? Like, I don't know. You know, like, it was just this weird thing that you were looking for something, and it just went a completely different way.
It did.
You know, yours is like, you went to see the Buddhists, and there was no Buddhists. And this other girl she was dating some guy, and he got saved, and he was driving her nuts, and he kept trying to convert her, and she took a Bible and threw it in the closet and found it like 2 years later, you know, and married him because he never left her alone. But she liked him, but she couldn't stand him. You know, it's just like, everybody's got these stories. They're like, that's not how Jesus should work.
I think of those years where you just are floundering and trying to find something other than God. You're trying to make your own God. I'm God. This is going to be my God. It just all ends in, I was depressed. It was just like, it had no meaning. Like nothing had meaning. And, all those things that I thought were important because I was such a strong liberal woman were like, wow, it doesn't, in some ways I'm like, oh Lord, can't I do a do-over? Can't we do my 20s again? But then it's like, you might not have married that guy and so I'm like, you have some plan and I'm not sure what it is. Like why did you allow this? Why, there's just so much stumbling that we all do. And yet, if you were like, oh, make up your best conversion story, or it'd be like, well, that's not the way I was going to do it, searching for Buddhists. Come on.
That's not the way I would have wrote that.
Yeah, it's like totally not like that. Or kind of like waking up 2 months ago going, I'm so angry at you, I'm so angry at your foolishness. I'm angry at, it makes no sense in my mind, so it's foolish.
What a bad investor you are.
Yeah, you're a bad investor. I'm not going to listen to you about where I should, yeah. Ay.
Anyway.
Okay.
This was great.
Okay.
Thank you.